The iPhone 6 was Apple's first major refresh on the design and performance of iPhones, but is it still worth buying in 2016? Well, let's find out. So hey guys, Alex here from TechFocus, and if you haven't already, go and click that subscribe button down below to get some more awesome content just like this one. So let's start with the design. This is by far my favourite ever Apple design on an iPhone, and there's a couple of reasons for this. The first one is the fact that there are no sharp edges unlike the iPhone 5 or 5S, although this does make the phone quite slippery, which is obviously a disadvantage. At only 6.9mm thick, this is actually among some of the thinnest phones of 2016. The antenna bands look well placed on the rear of the phone, but I'm unsure about the iPhone 7 having them along the top and not along the back itself. Leave your comments down below on what you think about this. The front side is mainly screen, which is nice to see. The bezels aren't too big, so it's easy to reach them, and they aren't too small either, which prevents you from tapping stuff unintentionally whilst holding the phone. Now this screen is a 4.7-inch IPS LCD panel with a resolution of 750 by 1334, so it's not like full HD or anything, but you can't see pixels, so it's alright. Colour presentation is good, even on an IPS panel. Holding it next to an AMOLED screen, there's definitely a difference, but you wouldn't really notice without comparing them in detail. So the top glass is actually what Apple are calling ion strength glass, which has that 2.5D edges, which will definitely smash on a single drop. On the spec side, this phone is rocking the Apple A8 processor, which definitely performs pretty well with iOS 10. Along with this processor, it has 1GB of RAM, which is a pretty tiny amount compared to today's standards. OnePlus. It still performs fine, but it's not as snappy or sharp as some of the newer phones that have been released. On the camera side, it has an 8MP rear shooter with an aperture of f2.2, and if you want to see some example photos taken on this phone, go to @M17photography on Instagram, and also drop him a follow. On the front side, there's a 1.2MP selfie camera, so it isn't that great in terms of resolution, but it isn't as awful as a phone like the iPhone 4S. This phone also has NFC, so Apple Pay is doable. The fingerprint scanner is the right speed for me personally. Sometimes I want to read notifications and then unlock, unlike the iPhone 6S or 7, where they unlock way too fast in my opinion. The speakers on this phone are some of the best as well. Take a listen. And yes, it has a headphone jack. RIP headphone jack, you will be missed. And finally, the battery. This phone has a 1810mAh battery, which is absolutely tiny compared to today's standards. Although unexpectedly it actually lasts a long time. So overall, the iPhone 6 is definitely worth buying in 2016, but of course if you're going to buy one, you're going to have to find one somewhere because you can't really buy them new anymore. So thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.